Whoa. That is not at all what I expected. It's 9 a.m. and I don't have to be at work for another 27 hours, so it's time to drink. Welcome back, Brew Crew. If it's your first time here, I'm the Brew Captain. I do challenges, how-tos, and reviews. And today, we're going to be falling into a wormhole. All right, so I want to do this review. It is 9 o'clock in the morning, but it's perfectly okay for me to be drinking this beer because it's made with coffee. So that means it's okay. So I picked this beer because the can looked pretty cool. So it's got a wormhole on there. It's made by a company called D9 Brewing. D9 Brewing Company is based out of, where's it from? Cornelius, North Carolina. I actually really like North Carolina. It's one of those places, if there was like a job opening and I could do it, I'd go immediately. So D9 has different kinds of collections, and this is the Defying Gravity collection. Of course, this one's called Wormhole. It's kind of weird because when I went into the D9 site to kind of get some more information about this beer, this one actually wasn't listed in the collection. I ended up finding it, but right off the bat in the Defying Gravity section, it wasn't in the main area. I had to kind of search through and really dive in to find information about this beer. But it's a sour ale brewed with coffee, lime, and spearmint. That's coffee, lime, and spearmint. So this is going to be pretty interesting. It is an ale. Like I said, it's a sour ale. This is a 16-ounce can. With craft beer, this is how it should come. It should be 16 ounces. It's a full pint. And this is 14% alcohol. So that's 14% ABV. So it's we're about to get our morning started off right. So while I'm pouring this, I want to give you a little information about sour ales. So sours, also called tarts, actually have a really pretty interesting history. And one thing that's cool about it is sours and tarts kind of are like the ancient form of beers. They've really just come back and become more popular in the last, 10 years or so. And this one's been sitting in my fridge for a while, so it's kind of interesting. I wonder when it expired. Is it expired? Oh, that's sketchy. There's no expiration stamped on it. I don't like that. All right, we're about to find out, though. So what defines a sour or a tart is the wild yeast and bacteria that's inside of it when it's made. Basically, you have the domestic yeast that they use to make the ales, and then you have these wild yeast and bacteria that end up producing all sort of lactic and acidic acids. It really wasn't something that they intended. It just kind of happened because once you get this wild yeast inside of the tools that you use to make the beer, it just spreads and spreads and grows and grows. There's actually a lot of breweries that won't even do sours because of the potential of infecting, the other containers and the other beers that are in the facility. At one point in time, all beer that was made and brewed encountered these wild yeast. The brewers didn't know that it was all over the place. They would throw out their yeast, batches and bring it back in. They just didn't know that it was there because there wasn't enough science to understand it. It wasn't until 1857 when a scientist, oh, that's interesting. It smells like coffee. A scientist by the name of Louis Pasteur, for those biology people and history people, of course, he created the vaccines for what? Anthrax, cholera, and rabies. But in 1857, he found out that the yeast, the domestic and the wild yeast, had different shapes when he was looking at them through a microscope. And so he was able to figure out that they would react differently with alcohol and fermentation. Now, even without this information, because it was the 1800s, brewers were still able to make really good strides when it came to making beer. They realized that in the summertime, the beer was going to go bad. That's when bacteria and the wild yeast was more plentiful. And they realized that in the wintertime, when it was kept cool, it stayed sweeter. especially for the ales. So they started keeping the temperature of the beer that they were brewing a lot colder so that their specialized yeast weren't affected by the wild yeast and bacteria. Of course, some brewers embraced it. Over time, it kind of faded away, and then in the last 10, 15 years or so, it started becoming popular again. So we're going to go ahead and embrace it and see what we got going on. Once again, it's Gravity Defying Wormhole by D9 Brewing. And I just smelled this a second ago. I said it smells like coffee. It kind of, it's almost like it's like dark chocolate. I'm on a diet right now with my girlfriend, and dark chocolate doesn't have all the sugar and stuff that milk chocolate does. So I've been eating dark chocolate when I got my sweet tooth, and it straight smells like dark chocolate. I mean, I do get a little bit of a mintiness inside there, but dark chocolate and it's more toffee than coffee. That's interesting. This is going to be a really interesting beer. Let's try it out. Whoa. That is not at all what I expected. Whoa. That's that 14% alcohol right there. Whoa, that is crazy. It's really syrupy. It's not sour at all. Wow. This is wild. I definitely taste the lime. It's kind of that tinge on the back of your cheeks and your gums. God, that is so good. It's so, wow. So it smells like dark chocolate, and I'm talking like your 86, 90% coca. Just that really, really dark chocolate. When it hits your lips, it's the consistency I would probably give you would be like when you open a can of peaches, and when you're done eating the peaches, if you drink I drink the juice. If you drink the juice inside there, it's like a thick water. Not like the thick water in that video I did though. But I mean, it's just like it's very syrupy. The spearmint, you can taste everything. The spearmint is more of an aroma, like a lingering afterness. Oh, wow. I don't taste the coffee at all. Oh, God. I love when you get a really high ABV beer, and you get that shiver. It's really, I love it. I really do. It's kind of like with a, if you take a shot of liquor, you have that, with beer though, when you have a high content beer, you can enjoy it. It doesn't make you want to vomit as soon as you do it, but, wow. And I'm surprised too, because I mean, I would say this is probably, it could be unfiltered. The color, it's a light golden. Oh yeah, that's unfiltered. I don't know if you can see in the light the haziness. It's kind of harder to see from your angle, but it's got a light haze inside there. You can't see all the way through it. But it's really, really pleasant though. As far as sipping, I'm gonna say right now, this is a 10 out of 10. Just sipping this beer, 10 out of 10. The aroma, see, that's great. It smells like chocolate. It smells like a chocolate toffee. But there is zero chocolatey coffee taste in it. This is a wild beer. Well, probably because it's a sour ale, which means it's made with wild yeast. But I mean, it's a really pleasant beer. This is something I could drink in the wintertime. This is something I could drink out by the pool. Shoot, I think I'm gonna go and get some more of these today. I have to wait a little while because it's 14%. Wow, that is, God, man. If you are able to find Defying Wormhole by D9 Brewing, get it. I very rarely will say go out of your way to find a beer. This is the one to do it for. Just at least to experience it and say that you had a coffee lime spearmint beer, you know? Of course, I still have to test out and see how, our chugging works. So, it might not be as pleasant for this. And before I do this really quick, I do want to let y'all know, if you're interested in learning about beer, you want to know more about beer, you want to experience more about beer, get yourself the Beer Bible. I'm going to leave a link for this down in the description below, so you can just click on the link. It'll send you right to where you can get this from. But ton of good information, really easy to read, and beer's just fun. That's one of the things I love about beer. Let's finish this off. As far as, I don't remember how much I spent for it. I bought it a couple months ago. But as far as, the drinkability of this thing, it's easily drinkable. Very, very high on that scale. As far as the chugging, it probably isn't a beer that you're going to, want to chug. I don't want to chug it. I'm just doing this for you. But we're going to see how that works out. So let's try it. Not bad. Ooh. Oh, I feel that alcohol. All right. Check out the video popping up on the screen right now. Make sure you hit that subscribe button.